All right, this one's for Chris. Here we go. Okay, so Chris just recently asked if I'd go over my wheels, my setup for transporting my float tube, and I figured I'd love to do that, and I'm going to go a little further and talk about a few different types as well. There are some actual products out there for your float tubes to transport them by wheel, some of which are basic kayak wheels that really do, they work if you use them correctly, kayak carts. Um, they're not really meant for float tubing, but you can kind of jerry rig or put together a simple, easy way to, use them on your float tube. Um, there is a brand or a product where they have a long metal rod running through the center, two wheels on the outside, and you glue in some clips underneath where the wheels clip in. Very basic, simple, which makes a lot of sense. If you mount this on the back of your boat, I think it'd probably be easy to just leave in place while you're fishing. If you mount it where it's supposed to be in the front of your boat, definitely have to pull those off before you get in the water because it's going to be in your way. Um, there is another one that I found online just recently on Etsy, actually, which gives you two mounts on either end. You'll see a picture in a second. On either end of your tube that straps with a ratchet strap around each side and has a big beefy wheel on it, which allows you to actually move your boat, on a basic everyday float tube. And this would work great for any float tube because you don't have to glue anything on. And I'll make sure the link is available for you guys as well. Um, there is also Float Plus, who's put out their wheel system. Again, glued mount underneath your boat. You can put them in the back toward the front. And what's nice about this setup is the wheels actually fold up and out of the way. I do have a little, well, I won't say I have experience in it. I do have Mark, actually. Mark has these wheels. I think he was. I'll let Mark explain. I don't think he was extremely excited by the product itself. He did actually change out those wheels, I believe, for something a little beefier, a little more robust. But it's nice that they can fold up out of the way, and they do glue to your float tube. So for me, though, I use a cart. It's kind of hard to see, and you've seen it before. It's in the back behind me, and I've got it kind of buried with some other stuff. Not the big wheel. That's my mountain bike. So sorry for this interruption, but hopefully you're enjoying the video. And if you are, I hope you consider joining our Patreon. This Patreon is a sister site to our Float to Fishing Forum, which is a large social media network, and this helps support that. The idea behind our Patreon, so you understand, is to educate. That's what we've always been about, educating each other on the finer points of float tube fishing. To create discussion, deeper, rich discussion about our sport, and to cast a wider net and grab more float tubers throughout the world to connect us all in one place. So, one more time, if you're enjoying what you're seeing today, please go to our Patreon. Here's our link right here. Please go to our Patreon and join. It really will be beneficial and helpful to us to continue to grow this network. Thank you very much. Back to the video. The one that's hanging up above. Now, this cart, I can't say that I built, sorry. But I was lucky enough that one of our members on the Float Tube Fishing Forum actually put up, he was giving away his cart. It was Captain Kurt. And so I messaged him real quick and headed out to Mission Viejo and pick it up. I really didn't really think about getting the wheels for my float tube at the time, and it was an opportunity to pick something up and give it a shot. So I'm like, why not? Let's go for it. So when I got this home, I wasn't sure how I was going to hook it up to my float tube because in the image here, basically you can see it's a big, wide rectangle. This is utilizing basically some jogger stroller wheels, and the axle as well is kept in place. PVC for the top edge, and got a drive shaft in the center, a metal drive shaft right through the center, all put together with rivets holding it in place. Um, I need to inflate the wheels again. I haven't actually done that. I'm sure it would roll a lot better if I inflated the wheels, but there's not a lot of weight on it, so it's not that big a deal. Um, Now, the way when I got it home, I wasn't sure quite how I was going to actually hook this up, but as you can see in a couple of videos I'm going to post here right now, um, they were actually it made a lot of sense to slip over the top of your tube in most cases. I've used it on my gig bob, which that in itself I had to kind of jerry rig or kind of really think about how I was putting that together. On my flat form, not my flat form, excuse me, on my Maxon XB240, it fit right over the back edge really good. I just had to have a place to tie it down. So a lot of times for this one, I have to make sure I put D rings in the right place, so I can just have a quick little lash with some paracord to hide it or tie it down in place. Um, and then I also used it on my roughneck float tube, which Chris, you might know which one this is. And then I have been using on my Float Plus behind me as well. It fits perfectly over the top. These are ones I put D rings in the right place so that I can tie this off properly. So let's take a look at a quick video here in the front yard, just kind of demonstrating how I figured out how to use these wheels.
Cart works great. Cart works great. Nothing with a PVC, a couple of tires probably off of a stroller. Um, Picked it up, and it works on all my boats, and obviously on the Flow Plus One, it's actually perfect. Doing from the water, nice and
All right, so as you can see, those quick videos out in the front yard, that was my first opportunity to take a look at these wheels and see how I was going to actually use them on my float tube. It works out great. I really am happy with it. I'll be honest, one thing I don't like about my system is it's bulky. Okay, so when I have my truck, no big deal. Just throw them in the bed of the truck underneath my float tubes. Everything worked out perfect. Now that I'm in my FJ, a smaller SUV style vehicle, I definitely have to think about where I'm putting my stuff. It doesn't just fit in simple and easy now, and I can still take my wheels. It's not a problem. They just tend to be in the way a little bit. Plus, another thing you think about it when you're using wheels, it's wonderful to be able to move your boat quick and easy, but you also have to be able to either take those wheels with you, or you have to be able to uh, bring them back to your vehicle to put away. In Huntington, where I go, I actually have a spot behind the bushes, and I can actually chain lock it in if I need to light pole is nearby. Um, but I can always walk back to my vehicle and throw them in. So things like the Float Plus wheels, while I can't say the wheel itself is the best, it's really nice to be able to know that you can just fold it up and they stay out of the way and they're there when you need them. The one that I found at Etsy, those seem pretty bulky as far as wheels are concerned. They look like they can do a lot, and they can probably stay in place truthfully if you wanted to, although it's going to cause some drag. But if you need to, you can leave them where they're at. So I think one of the big deals when it comes to using wheels is, are they going to be simple and easy to pop on and off? Are they going to be able to go with you, or do you have to take those wheels and put them back in your vehicle or have a place to store them while you're out fishing? Because you can't just for these my wheels, you can't just throw them on the back of your boat. Well, I guess you could, but the reality is it's going to look kind of odd and just be bulky. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some measurements on my system. I'll come up with a little diagram of basically the lengths and cuts and directions in which we put everything together. Again, this would probably work best with a jogger stroller wheel. So if you know someone who's giving away a jogger stroller, might be something to grab onto. You can make some quick adjustments and build yourself some wheels that can be used for your flow tube, similar to what I have. And there are all kinds of different ways in which you can use this stuff and build them up. That kayak wheel cart thing, I think, in all honesty, if you really think about it, depending on your float tube, it may be a really simple, easy way to move your float tube around. Lightweight, easy, and can fold up and be put away real simple and easy. The one that I found on Etsy, I really, really like the idea, the design, and what I like best about it is you can use it on any float tube, kind of like mine. You can use it on anything. Um, and it's the wheel in itself, I think, is what really makes it look useful to me. The one that has the axle that runs straight across from one end to the other, very simplistic, basic design, clips into its own glued on keepers. But the problem is having to pop it on and off. It can be kind of tough with those type of keepers. And the other thing is, are you going to take it with you or store it away? It's small. It's not a big deal. It's just long. Um, and then my system itself, I honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, I would not say that my system is the best. But I will tell you this, my system works on all my boats, and I have not had a reason to try and change it. Although now I'm starting to think maybe I should change it. Anyways, Chris, so hopefully this answers some of your questions. Guys, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put out some information about the float tube itself, excuse me, the wheel system itself as far as dimensions. I'm going to put it into a PDF for you guys. You can download it if you'd like, take a look at it, build your own. So hopefully you guys got some information out of this, something worth looking into a little further if you don't have your own wheels. A lot of people love to throw their float tube on their back. No big deal to carry it a short distance, but I'm going to tell you, I really am enjoying having my wheels with me because it just takes a little less pressure, especially coming back in. I'm already a little a little tired from the day, and I don't have to sweat it too much. Just kind of grab my stuff and roll on in real quick and easy. So hopefully that gives you some information, Chris. This is Jeff with the Float Tube Fishing Patreon. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the water.